across key national sectors. That's health, education, housing, public accountability, and even issues of, they talked about repression.
Yes.
Issues of freedom of expression. Bwana Kassim Tandaza, do you agree that there's a lot the president could be doing? There's a lot that he should be focusing on, that he has made promises on, but you're seeing all over and probably seeing him do things that probably other people would be working on, as Professor says, governors and MPs?
One, I would want to, I'm really now conflicted about professors and as a governance experts. When he says on one hand, CDF and the MPs is conflicted. Of course, the law is very clear, but from his point is that MPs and CDF, and yet he said he supports the word fund. You know, if you look at the role of MCS, and he says he tied that with the MCS, the roles of MCS is just like the roles of a member of parliament. Isn't it? Oversight, legislation, and representation. Those are the roles of an MCA because they have their own county assemblies and they do their own bylaws. Why he supports the word fund? Personally, I support it, but now I'm getting conflicted from, maybe he has just a problem with members of parliament. Probably he wants to stand as a member of parliament.
No.
But surely, how do you support the word fund for MCAs whose roles are exactly like those ones of a member of parliament, and yet say CDF should not be there? Probably he'll think about it, but fortunately he's speaking from both sides of the mouth. Now, the issue of what the president pledged, what the president promised versus what has been delivered. What do you expect from the civil society? They are funded and their role is to criticize, and I take it in good heart. And I believe with the president, it's good to be criticized, isn't it? It makes you better. If people just come and clap and say yes, you will not improve. And that happens to everybody. But he actually campaigned, promised these people. The issue of affordable housing was in his manifesto. Is it happening? Yes, it is happening. There could be some issues which we are debating here, but it is happening across the country. It is happening across the country, in Homa Bay, in Murang'a, in Nyeri, in Kwale, in Kilifi, in Lamu. It is happening. That's something he promised and is being done. Did he say that we are going to overhaul the health system and have universal health coverage? It is happening. That is why we have actually SHIF, and we now change from NHF to SHA. There could be problems, all right. We all agree, Fred, when you are starting something, you wouldn't get it 100% correct. And that is why even us as legislators, we keep on amending the laws. We keep, even in the 2010 Constitution, in the process of amending the Constitution. We had an article, a report, which we are implementing, because it can't be perfect. Even on the day of passage, we said, let's pass it, and then we'll improve on it. That is what is happening. He talked about the Hustler Fund. Is it there? Yes. So those are the things that we should be looking at. And I think if we are to go by that scorecard on what he promised and what he's delivering, then why should somebody...
Let's forget the promises. Professor, just a moment.
Yeah.
Let's forget the promises for a moment.
Yeah.
The civil society also talked about issues to do with state repression, corruption, and abandonment of socioeconomic rights. We've had issues of freedom of expression being suppressed, even at levels where we've never seen this before, high school level. What would you say to that?
You see, as a president, as the executive, and as any leader, we need peace in this country, isn't it? We wouldn't be here. Let's be very honest, Fred, and my colleagues here. We wouldn't be here debating if the country was burning, wouldn't we? Even you people of the media, we wouldn't be safe. We wouldn't be knowing how to get back home if there were chaos all over. And that is still the duty of the president. It is still the duty of the government to maintain peace and order. In every market, there has to be a mad person.
Are we justifying repression?
And we all agree The degree of freedom that we have in Kenya, you cannot equate it to any other African country. You can abuse the president, you can say anything, you can draw anything, you can do anything, but it reaches a point where it becomes a threatening the national security issue. And who is better to handle it than the president or the government? Because if we let it go free and people go looting, they go stealing, they go to a point where now people are abusing each other, right? And then we also need to bring a good society. You are talking about the students, isn't it? Mm-hmm. By the way, you know, I'm an actor. During my school days, I was the best actor, and up to now, I still do it. But you see, we should also use that space for peace and development. We should not misuse that space. Assuming I'm to do a right, give me 1 minute, because I've done, I'm also a playwright. Assuming I'm to do a script where I'm going to say, this ethnic group is bad, this is good, and we should now go killing each other, we should go harming each other, and then it's acted so well. You know, we have an actor who fits into that role of butchering people or butchering the other ethnic group. Should we allow that play to continue simply because it is nurturing talent and because it has been acted well? So there are some themes which we should just say, no, these are not good for this country.
Yeah, the provision in our constitution is very clear. Article 33, freedom of expression.
Yeah, but
every person has a right to freedom of expression, which includes freedom to seek, receive, or impart information or ideas, freedom of artistic creativity, and academic freedom and freedom of scientific research. We have very interesting literature that is read in books, in schools, which does not necessarily support the government of the day, which is criticism towards the way governments are run. What is so different this time around, Senator, that students who are acting a play are found to be not in tandem with what this administration feels?
Thank you, Fred, and I would want to ask that you give me some little more time because